And welcome to the Quite Drafty Podcast. Joining me, as always, we have Jay.
Welcome.
Ollie.
Howdy.
And Sef.
Oh, it's a bit nippy in here.
And I'm Pex. I'm also here. That's sort of part of what I do. Okay, so this week's theme was chosen by Jay.
So this week we will be exploring gods, goddesses, and we've also expanded that a little bit into titans if anybody felt the need. This week will not include any demigods, monsters, or other very prominent characters in mythologies. We're just looking at members of various pantheons across the entire globe.
Surely certain gods, goddesses, and titans also count as monsters.
Yes, 100%.
They definitely do, and I will not hear anything on the contrary.
However,
they
down
can be
to
both.
argue. I'm happy to be the
Prepare
villain.
yourself.
Let's go.
It depends on your definition of the word monster, doesn't it? Because some of them absolutely do things that a monster would do.
I can think of one in particular that yes, they probably come under a number of different brackets, but they are also definitely a god, a goddess, or a titan.
Well, this is going to get interesting with our resident rules lawyer in place, ready to probably challenge us on every pick we make so far.
Court is in session.
Anyway, we are, of course, snake drafting, but rather unusually for this, we have an odd number of rounds, which means there actually is an advantage to being put first overall, because you not only get the first pick, you won't be the very last pick either. We're currently in Jop's order, Jay, Ollie, Pex, Sef. How many times do we think we should shuffle today?
I think
Three's
10.
pretty...
Ooh,
We've got a 3 and we've got a 10.
We did
I was
three last
thinking
time.
like trinities show up quite a lot in mythology. and
That's
gods.
true. That is true.
They do show up. And that's why, with 3 and 10, we're going to do 13 shuffles.
Ew.
Nice. That's
I
an
could have
unlucky
done
number.
30, but no, it's 13. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's why you play the fast
7,
forward sound.
8, 9, 10. Well, if it had been 10, Jay would have been first, Ollie second, Sef third, and Pex fourth. JOSP order. But 11, 12, and 13. Sef, Jay, Pex, and Ollie.
Okay, but that
Motherfucker.
literally didn't move.
It didn't move between 12 and
13.
13, yeah. That was the
Fate
same
has
for
decided.
both of those.
I'm okay with that.
No, I'm not okay with this. You're always first. Seth, I swear down, at least half of the times that we've done this, you have been first. The luck,
It does
the
seem
luck
to
gods
happen
love
a
you,
lot.
clearly.
Like, genuinely, I think I've been first. Was I first once or twice? But I definitely was first once when I really didn't want to be.
You know what they say? First the worst, second the best. Wait, hold on. That's not what I meant at all.
First the worst, first the worst, first the worst.
Yep, first the worst. Okay, well, for the apparent worst pick of this draft, Seth.
Oh, I've got so many good choices here with my very extensive list. I think there was quite a few gods or goddesses that I thought I could go with, but then I thought they're just not it, you know. I need something that can fit on a theme that's going to make Jay angry. So, what I've gone for in my first pick is Arceus from Pokemon.
Oh,
They are a god. I would like to read some of the Pokedex entries for you before you start your arguing.
Here we
It is described in mythology as the Pokemon that shaped the universe with its 1,000 arms. It is told in mythology that this Pokemon was born before the universe even existed. And it is said to have emerged from an egg in a place where there was nothing, then shaped the world. I think if you shape the world, exist outside of the universe, that's got to be a god, right?
Hell yeah, that's a god.
Okay, I want to show
Starting
of
off
hands
strong.
here. How many of you have picked gods from various fantasies or game franchises? How mad am I getting this week?
This is an audio podcast. This is an
Just
audio
me.
podcast. No
yeah,
show of
I'm
hands.
going to take this opportunity to plead the fifth. Not our country, but still going to do it.
I can see Sef's hand reaching for the literal heavens. Alrighty then.
Off to a good start. Let's go.
So, can I just check before we get through? Are there any objections to this pick?
I want to, but it matches the rules. I can't. I never said that it had to be from a historical text or something like that, and I can't deny Arceus is a god.
It's from a historical
I agree with
text.
that
It's just
definition.
a more recently historical text.
Also, I can count at least 2 people who would be very upset if I didn't let Arceus into this draft as well. So for them, and they know who they are.
Well, I think this is
fine.
actually a good thing, because I think therefore if this had gone to a vote, all 4 of us would have gone yes, because I'm absolutely on Seth's side with this one. I think this is absolutely a god.
What's that?
Which
Pex is on
means-
my side.
Yeah, Pex is on your side. So, Jay, would you like to make the second pick of the Gods and Goddesses draft?
Well, for anyone who was hoping for good old-fashioned mythology, I do want to reassure our listeners that I do in fact have a very classical list in mind. My first pick is not my favourite of my 5, but it is the one that I feel like is most likely to be drafted by somebody else. So I will be starting my first round with Odin Allfather.
Solid choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of thought, King of the Gods, when we're thinking of various pantheons, Odin is a character that comes up so often as being this very imposing, warlike figure throughout mythology. If you're a fan of various works outside of it, whether it be the God of War series, whether it be any of Rick Riordan's books, Odin is just a fantastic film across the entirety of a character across all of pop culture. But one aspect that I do want to draw attention to, because I do in fact have a theme, is also Odin's triple aspect as being the warrior, the wanderer, and the hanged man. Throughout Odin's life, in his quest for knowledge and ultimately superior magic and understanding, those who know of Odin's mythology will know he walked through all of the realms and climbed to, I can't remember if it was I believe it was to the top of Yggdrasil, hence his final state being the Hanged Man, where one of the reasons he's only got one eye is he had it, this is where I really should have brought my notes, but he basically gave up an eye to be able to see, and there are different aspects to if you come across Odin's warrior form, it's very aggressive, it's very warlike, it's Odin the Conqueror. But if you get to Odin the Wanderer or Odin the Hanged Man, there's very much different aspects to how cultures that worshipped Odin would have seen him in those forms.
And another great thing about this pick is that it does keep in with the theme of this podcast, which is things that Seth could easily look like 5-10 years from now.
It's funny, I was literally just about to say, did you just post a picture of yourself in the chat there?
I don't know, I feel like you are more of the bearded Viking look than I.
Am I more likely to lose an eye?
The hair, I think you have the beard. Maybe Odin is the merging of Pex and Sef.
Maybe between the three of us, we could have the warrior, the wanderer, and the hanged man. Because, I mean, did Odin always have a beard? Maybe not. I'm happy to take the warrior mighty aspect if you want to, be the hobo end.
I'd be okay being the wanderer.
We do have a beard progression, actually, when you look at it. No beard, mini beard, Seth beard.
And what are we saying Ollie is in this one?
Reincarnation?
I'll take it.
Raven?
I'll take it. Oh yeah, I'll be the Raven. There's two of them. Yeah.
Or however you pronounce
Okay,
it.
well,
What in a minute?
Well, rather unusually for me, I'm actually going to start by revealing my theme.
Ooh.
So, Pex, for this one, the theme is I'm picking gods and goddesses to play in a 5-a-side team. So, to start off with, I thought, okay, well, I need to pick out the positions I want for my five-a-side team, and the most important, crucial position is the goalkeeper. What do you need from a great top-quality goalkeeper? You need
lots of help.
Cat-like reflexes. That's the commentary phrase you've heard thousands and thousands of times, which is why my first pick is Bastet.
I fucking knew it.
Choice. Pex, as somebody who has had moments of imbalance, shall we say, would you describe yourself as having cat-like reflexes? You know, not that we're comparing you to a goalkeeper by any chance, but
I was once nicknamed the cat, but I believe that might have done more to do with the fact that I will just lie around anywhere, it turns out, and fall asleep. So I'm not sure that the cat nickname for me as a goalkeeper is actually any kind of credit to my goalkeeping capabilities.
Is that a recent nickname or an older nickname? Was that like during the Vertigo or?
No, I actually got it before the Vertigo, but it probably suited me more during. So.
Was this during one of your first of your 9 lives?
I can't have many left at this point. But yes, Bastet is the goalkeeper for my five-a-side team, and we will be coming back to that shortly. But to round off the first round of the snake, it's Ollie.
My first pick is going to be the one, the only. It's Dionysus, the Greek god of parties and wine and just revels and insanity that comes with that. Bringer of absolutely elite, insane vibes. We love it. Top tier, very fun one in the Greek pantheon.
I love the description of top tier insane vibes as the way to go.
Completely agree, though.
It wasn't an objection. It was just a wonderful description.
When we said gods and goddesses, before I chose my theme, Dionysus, I was trying to find a way to make it work with other choices because Dionysus is just mad.
Yeah, madness and revelry and alcohol and just having a great time. And also a bad time that comes with partying.
A fun fact about Dionysus, actually. Dionysus, one of their other reputations is as the god who died twice. And Dionysus was actually previously another god, which is a son of Hades, interestingly, called Zagreus. And there is another wonderful podcast called Mythology by Parcast, and they actually tell the tale of Zagreus based on a few remnants of poetry from ancient times. And he is a god who died in a really epic story, actually, of Zagreus and Melinoe, and ultimately was reincarnated as the god of wine Dionysus.
I'll tell you what, if I was killed and had to come back as something, fuck yeah, I want to come back as a god of wine and revelry. Are you kidding me?
I do have to ask then, looking at the first round, which of the gods do we think each of us are?
Of the ones
I've got to say Odin straight
list?
away, I think, is Sef.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think that's the most obvious pick of the lot.
Okay, but to address the elephant in the room, who is a four-legged Pokemon with a hula hoop around its waist? I mean...
Oh, that's easy. That's Ollie.
I was about to say, that's definitely me. 100%. Are you kidding?
So, which of Pex
Jay,
and Jay
which one of us is the
more...
party animal and which one of us is a cat?
Which of you is more
This isn't
hedonistic?
even a question, is it? It's. I'm going to end up being Dionysus.
You absolutely are. We've already established that Pex is the cat, therefore
It
must
does
be
make me sound
Bastet.
like an alcoholic, but I will say that Pex has witnessed me drinking out of a teapot, and that was this year within the last few months. And it was not tea, my listeners. It was not tea.
Yep. I suppose a teapot is a very efficient way to mainline alcohol. Right, Ollie, your second round pick.
Yeah, let's go. Okay, my next pick is Bess/Bestet, which is not Bastet, it's a different god, Bestet, who is, that's the male and female versions. They're, different areas will worship either the female or the male version, and they are a protector, but also like the just protector of things that are good, like fun, dancing, music, having a good time. Just they're one of the few Egyptian gods and / goddesses that are depicted face on rather than in that side profile that so many of them are. And they are just a cool little friend with a cool ass, just like fun things, and yeah, just fun, good vibes. Vibe protector.
I am struggling to find an image of Bastet. Has anyone got one?
Oh, I've got one.
No, I'm struggling as well. It keeps trying to redirect me to Bastet. So
you
have
do
to
they
search.
have
try for Bess rather than Bastet.
Yeah. He's
and they're Egyptian.
Yeah. They're just like a wide fellow who just, protects the vibes, dances, makes music,
worshipped as a protector of households.
This is an Egyptian gnome. Is anyone else seeing gnome?
Yeah, I kind of get what you're on about, yeah.
Yeah, they are quite gnome-like.
I like that this picture has their tongues stuck out. I'm a big fan of that.
Very good time. But yeah, so I think the more common one is Bess, but Bastet is one of the forms, but is also cat vibes. But
cat vibes.
Protector of, so like, if you're having a party, you've got somebody to protect the vibes. Make sure that they remain good and fun.
Yes, vibe protection is
Bess.
crucial, and I suppose what you've just done is you've turned it from just a regular party to a house party. So
exactly.
I like that vibe.
Exactly. Oh no,
I'm just reading the Wikipedia page. Quote: "Since he drove off evil, Bess also came to symbolize good things in life: music, dance, and sexual pleasure." I think he'd get along pretty well with Dionysus.
Yeah.
I do want to say,
mayhaps a theme.
Viewer discretion is advised. If you do go onto Google Images and if you scroll far enough, Bess's reputation for that last part of your description there, Seth, is very much shown in some of their fertility statues.
Oh, you don't need to scroll far.
Nope.
That is a three-legged fellow.
I like the fact
three-legged god and
unique
three-legged
god, best Egyptian god.
I hadn't necessarily called gods and goddesses to be the one where Ollie goes NSFW, but
let's go.
Okay, wonderful. Well, on that low-hanging note, let's move on to the second pick of my five-a-side team. So, when we're talking five-a-side football, your goalkeeper is crucial to preventing goals, but do you know who else is crucial to this team? It is the person who prevents the chances even getting to that goalkeeper. I need a protector, and not just that, a protector who can be an absolute brute when necessary. I want someone that attackers are afraid to go up against, which is why my second pick is Sekhmet.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh,
Sekhmet is such a good goddess.
There is a natural link between Sekhmet and Bastet anyway, because they are siblings. They are both children of Ra. So I kind of figure this one goes together quite nicely. But Sekhmet is the kind of warrior element of the child of Ra. Said to breathe fire. So the hot winds of the desert were all linked to that. And to be honest, if I were a striker and someone started breathing down me so hot that I felt like I was in the desert, I would be a little bit afraid to challenge for a tiny ball with that person.
Yeah, understandable.
Also believed to cause plagues,
as any woman is wont to do.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to be on the pitch with them, let's put it that way.
Yeah, you might die, but it would be worth it. It would be fun. And you want them on your team. That's the point. No one's going to be tussling with her for fear. And we like that.
I also kind of love the design. The picture I've sent you is one of the kind of like hieroglyphic style drawings, but there are also some wonderful like wall carving-y type ones which are just awesome looking. I'm very much so a fan of the design of Sektet.
I'm looking at the description on Wikipedia here because I'm not super familiar with this particular god or goddess. This goddess here, I believe. I think it would actually fit just as well in Ollie's list here. During an annual festival held at the beginning of the year, a festival of intoxication, the Egyptians danced and played music to soothe the wildness of the goddess. Drank great quantities of beer and wine ritually to imitate the extreme drunkenness that stopped the wrath of the goddess when she almost destroyed humanity. They throw that last bit in very casually. Oh yeah.
There is a region of Egypt that celebrated quite heavily Sekhmet, because the story basically goes that when Ra was angry with humanity, Sekhmet was sent down to Earth to kind of punish them. But then Sekhmet was going to basically just destroy everything because Sekhmet is that powerful. And the way they brought Sekhmet back down was to dye a whole bunch of beer red and give Sekhmet the beer.
Pretending it's blood.
Pretending it's blood.
But drink this blood, Sekhmet.
Settled down, got absolutely hammered. And to be honest, I feel like that's the vibe I want in a centre-back.
Yeah. 100%.
Good after-party player.
Yeah. She was a consideration for my list because of the whole, like, party thing. But also, I don't want somebody at my party that brings the vibes of, I'm going to kill everything and everyone if you don't get me enough beer. Like, that's not fun. I don't want that. Please. I'm scared.
Well, moving on to Jay's second round pick.
I'm going to make a bold and somewhat unsurprising claim here. I think my lineup would actually beat your lineup in a five-a-side match.
Ooh, we'll have to see.
And I'm not going to lie, it's because loopholes. We have committed to having 5 gods, goddesses, or Titan deities. Except my theme is going to become apparent in my next pick, and you'll see why it is your team just couldn't hope to win against mine. Because I've stuck to the rules, there are only 5. However, my next pick, and I'm going to ask listeners to forgive me for this one because this is a Celtic goddess, one who I'm pretty sure I'm going to pronounce the names of their aspects incorrectly, but my next pick is the Morrigan.
Yeah.
The Morrigan, who is also famously known as a single Celtic goddess, but is also seen in 3 separate aspects. Those being Bav, otherwise meaning the crow. You have Maka, which is the battle or sovereignty aspect of the Morrigan. And you also have, I think it's pronounced Nivan, which is the personification of the frenzy and the havoc of war. And this is very much a goddess of death who is a very kind of warlike crow goddess in Celtic mythology who's kind of there throughout the duration of the before, the middle, and the aftermath of war.
The Morrigan is such a good one. I love the Morrigan. Really fun goddess.
So it may be 5-a-side for you, but for me, we have 5 gods or goddesses that kind of totals closer to, what's the maths on that, 15?
You see, that's the thing. When it comes to football, 5-a-side, whatever it is, the number of players is less relevant than their technical capabilities. Currently, your goalkeeper is blind in one eye, so doesn't have depth perception.
Okay.
And your other pick, I grant you, I am having to read about this because I've not heard of this one before. But, you know, war, fate, death, sovereignty, I feel like you've got shape-shifting into a crow or raven, I'm not sure is going to help you too much there.
I was just thinking, putting a raven on the pitch is going to, like, have to block the ball with their body.
Yeah. Currently, I'm feeling pretty confident about this football game.
I mean, this is a fearsome death goddess in a cape who is very familiar with high-stress situations like a battlefield.
Oh no, I hadn't thought about the cape.
The cape.
The cape.
I do have a question about if a raven is playing football, can they pick up the ball with their talons and fly? because that seems brutal.
No.
But it's not handball, you know.
Yeah, but it is, because a crow's claws are their hands.
Well, then what's their feet?
Yeah, there's this. It's like an ape.
So the problem,
ape has
the problem
hand
we
feet.
have here
That
is the
counts as
fact that they will have to be wearing football boots on those talons. So
I want to see that. Thankfully, Morrigan's a
really wanna see
shapeshifter.
that.
They'd be okay.
I do kind of like the idea that they'd come with their powers. So in this case, you know, you've got Bastet and Sekhmet, who are both very fearsome goddesses in their own right, and you've just got Odin just laying like rune traps along the field.
Oh, no, I'm kind of imagining that they have to like leave the powers at the door.
Okay.
Okay, I may be picking Odin the warrior then, because like you said, you know, one goalkeeper, it's not practical.
Okay, football question really quickly. If you pick the football up with your mouth, is that allowed?
I mean, heading the ball is allowed in football, so I would imagine that picking it up with your mouth would be allowed as well. I would consider it quite a high-risk strategy.
High reward, though.
Yeah.
Because if someone tries to kick the ball, they are allowed to do that while it's in your mouth.
You know how people can like palm a
Okay.
basketball? I'm imagining it just like suction with the mouth. And
Yeah.
then just running
It
down
would
the field.
have to be suction, because like if you pierced the ball and it started to go flat, they have to stop the game to replace the ball,
Oh.
and then it will restart with a drop ball. So
Look
I'm
out
kind
for
of
this new
imagining-
meta in 2026.
Somebody with a huge amount of suction, or somebody with some crazy circus skills that is just like constantly juggling,
Like balancing it on their nose, like, ooh, I want a seal on my football team. That would be great.
right, well, Seth, which video game character are you selecting next?
Oh,
Excuse
no.
me,
I
it's
forgot
far
Seth was
more-
doing this.
Far more sophisticated than just video game characters, Pex. Far
My
more
apologies.
sophisticated. I've seen your two picks, Pex, Bastet and Sekhmet, and I feel like I should really be going down the Egyptian route. Particularly, the two that you've chosen are both daughters of Ra.
Oh, no.
Am I correct?
Yes, they are.
So I thought I would bring in Ra in the form of
God
the
damn
Winged
it.
Dragon of Ra, the Egyptian god card from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
Nice.
I hate you on two levels, because you've stolen one of my picks for a start, but you've also twisted it in a way that I now can't pick the legitimate Ra. You're going to go with a paper card.
They're summoned by a paper card. Just so
I
we
should say I love
like-
Yu-Gi-Oh! As a franchise, so I say that with a little bit of bitterness, but also why?
I do love
I'm so in favour of this. I love
Yu-Gi-Oh's
this.
attempt at trying to bring some real world mythology into a children's card game. But, you know, how can you hate the Winged Dragon of Ra? Look at their design. They are just
I'm
made
actually-
of gold.
Technically sat on the Winged Dragon of Ra. They're underneath my little sofa cubby, so that they're within arm's reach.
Hell
I
yeah.
believe the way to describe the aesthetic of the Winged Dragon of Ra is fucking majestic.
Yeah,
Accurate.
that's a good way of putting
Accurate. The first time that it's summoned, I believe it just shows up in sphere mode. It's just a golden ball with some text on it. And
Orb.
orb. You've got to
Orb
love a good
become
mythical
dragon.
orb.
love a
It leads
mythical
nicely into my third round pick, which is going to be Slifer the Sky Dragon, which is another of the Egyptian god cards from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh yeah.
I would like to raise my first objection.
No, oh, go on then, go on.
Okay, Winged Dragon of Ra is based off of an actual Egyptian god, and you know what? That one, I feel like you're on shaky ground in that they are a god card rather than a god in themselves. I mean, yeah, they're described in the series as an Egyptian god, but the fact that you've got Ra, okay, fair enough, they are Egyptian god tangential. Slifer the Sky Dragon is a giant red dragon that the only link to gods and goddesses as a theme is literally that they have Egyptian god in the name of the card.
What would you... counterpoint. If you go onto the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia, onto Egyptian god, Slifer the Sky Dragon shows up. Therefore, Egyptian god card.
I would be inclined to agree. I mean, we allowed Arceus, who is
Not tangentially related in any way to any real
not
deity.
tangentially related
Okay,
to a real god
but-
in any way, yeah.
Hear me out. I'm pretty sure that if they allow Jedi as a recognized religion for sake of argument, not that I'm potentially letting Pex have a pick later on, but I'm pretty
write it
sure
down.
that Pokemon as a mythology system is probably something that is globally recognized, and I know you're probably going to throw that back at me with
Globally.
Yu-Gi-Oh as well.
I was like,
But-
you're going to try really hard to make Pokemon okay, but Yu-Gi-Oh not, and also allow my previous Yu-Gi-Oh
Well, the thing
pick.
is,
This is
Arceus
threading a
is a god
needle.
of their own mythology system, whereas, okay, a counterpoint then, would you agree that the mythology system in Yu-Gi-Oh as a series and a franchise is Egypt, as in classical Egypt, not its own Yu-Gi-Oh mythology?
I don't remember the part of traditional Egypt where they play card games to decide people's fate, but I could be wrong.
Okay, alternate Egyptian history.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's go to the pyramids. We've got to find out.
May we put this to a vote? I feel like I'm going to lose, but I'm going to put it to a vote anyway.
Okay. Well, shall we start with Jay? Because I'm pretty sure we know which way Jay is going.
Hell no.
Ollie?
I'm going to go with yes, because within the universe of Yu-Gi-Oh, although it's based on Egyptian mythology, it isn't actually. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh Egyptian mythology, so I would say it counts.
And Seth, I'm on your side.
Yes. Oh, you're going to love my next
I
pick.
think for the same reason that Arceus counts, this has to count.
Yeah.
I think within the Yu-Gi-Oh, I think the logical consistency of if Arceus is a god under our definition, the Yu-Gi-Oh god cards also have to be gods under our definitions.
I would like to take a moment to recognise the karma of this moment that has been poking Seth for consecutive podcast episodes. I should have seen this coming.
You should have seen this coming.
This is definitely not a list purely to spite Jay's raw liaring. Honest.
It's fine. I'm just going to take any silence in between moments on this podcast to continue to develop my Digimon list.
Yep, that 4-hour supplemental coming at a time that no one wants it.
Coming to a platform near you.
Right, Jay, your third round pick.
Well, it would have been Ra, but
Sorry, Ra's taken.
for reasons of the theme, I will say one of my reasons that I was going to choose Ra is the progression from old to young, young to old. In Egyptian mythology, you do have that he rides the sunboat throughout, I think, through the night sky into the afterlife, and part of that cycle of kind of birth and renewal keeps the chaos gods at bay, and that's pretty cool. But anyway, moving on to a different god or goddess, I'm going to go with Hecate from Greek mythology. This is the goddess of magic and sorcery, and is also famously depicted in some arts as being a three-headed goddess representing past, present, and future. Pex, somebody on my lineup can see the future. How do you see that playing out for you? Actually, 2 of my picks can see the future. I'm pretty sure Odin's got foresight as well.
I think
I'm
he does,
trying to work this
yeah.
one out at the moment. Hecate.
Yeah, Hecate is the maiden, the mother, and the crone, I believe, are the 3 aspects.
Is that
Unless
Okay.
that's a different one.
It's
I
like
think
what
that
modern
might be
witches
a-
are based
Is
around,
that
where they're always
someone
in
else?
threes.
Oh, no, you're right, because Hecate is also the Greek goddess of crossroads, and is often seen as maiden, mother, and crone. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I was looking up Hecate because I think she's also got aspects of hearth and home. And I was like, if you're going to have a house party, you have to have a house. And Hecate has a house, I feel.
It's difficult because a lot of the gods and goddesses have a lot of crossover in Greek mythology because, like you said, some will have aspects of hearth and home, and then you have the literal goddess of hearth and home, which would be
Hestia.
Hestia, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, does it? Or am I thinking of Hestia? I might have got my H Greek goddesses mixed up. I think
Also,
I got my H
under-
Greek goddesses mixed up.
Under the original criteria, fun fact about Hecate, they are also originally a Titan goddess. and one of the few that was on the god's side after the fall of Cronus.
That's also pretty cool.
So I've got 2 future-seeing sorcerers on my football lineup.
That is a good time.
Cool. That means that they can see how badly they get beat. Right. I am going to have to bring in my next one. I am going to be going for someone who I think, can help out defensively, but can also push us forward a little bit more onto the attack. So I want someone who's up for a fight, who's got that ability to move around a little bit. So I'm going for Mahi's for my next pick. I'm going to put a picture of Mahi's in the chat.
I don't
Which
actually know
mythology
who
are
this
they
one
from?
is.
Yeah.
So this one is another Egyptian pantheon god.
Ooh, fun.
Can I find?
You've picked another cat.
So
Is this the cat draft for you?
I mean, well, actually, what I've done is I've picked the 3rd child of Ra.
All my little babies on the field.
So, this is an ancient Egyptian lion-headed god of war, protection, and the sun's destructive power. So once again, I have someone who is absolutely lethal when it comes to this stuff. Embodying fierce justice and guarding the pharaoh as well. So that's the defensive duties sorted out there as well. Basically, another absolutely ferocious player who I would not feel particularly comfortable around. And yes, I have to say, surely a wonderful pick for a 5-a-side football team.
I'm going to have to be stood on the sidelines of this match holding up the Winged Dragon of Ra to watch these...
Yeah, so he can watch all of his kids.
All I can say is that for this 5-a-side game, we're going to be the ones who have supporters.
I do like the aesthetics of the fact that a lot of my picks so far have been gods and goddesses of shadow and darkness, and they're, Odin in their warrior form may be a bit brighter, what with golden armor and all the rest of it, but especially some of the older aspects, they're all very kind of dark gods and goddesses in certain aspects. Meanwhile, you've literally got the children of the sun. I think for supporters watching just the matches as a whole, that would be a really awesome one to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be fucking majestic as a match, isn't it?
Goths versus jocks.
Goths
versus jocks.
Also, if we're talking about Sef's picks being kind of in the stands watching the match, we've effectively recreated mythological Spy Kids because you've got a lot of animated characters watching. And meanwhile, you've just got Ollie's Pantheon, which I'm sure we're about to find the next one. Yeah.
My group is going to be the after party post match.
Now the thing is, what you do need in a football crowd is a bunch of people getting absolutely hammered and just having a party whilst they're there. So Ollie's lot are going to be there, but they're not going to be supporting anyone. They're just going to be wasted, not really sure what's happening.
Yes, 100%.
I do like the idea that behind both of our teams, you normally have the supporter stands. That there could be some scope here to have a specific set of supporters on either side.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Ollie, your 3rd round pick.
Ooh, okay. My 3rd round pick is going to be Tyr, who is a Norse god, and is a Norse god of competition and victory and a lot of stuff, but justice. So if you're going to have party games, you want somebody who's organised and who's going to be fair. Because there were other gods and goddesses that I was looking at, like Nike, who's the goddess of victory, but I think she's going to cheat. I think she's going to be there I am the winner always, and even if she doesn't win, she is the winner. So it's going to be Tyr. So law and victory and competition. So, the beer pong is taken seriously. Very important. But also, I think all Norse gods are going to be down to party, so...
Yeah, I suspect you've got another absolute party animal who is definitely up for some games and all sorts whilst they're around as well. This absolutely fits your night out theme, as I'm going with for what yours is.
Well, yes.
I don't think this would fit the canon for Tyr, because Tyr is the Norse god of war, but the fact that they've sacrificed one of their hands to Fenrir, I kind of like the idea that they'd be going through the party going, hey dude, high five! Oh wait, no, sorry, no hand, yeah.
Dang. But no, we need somebody who's going to be organised enough to be able to, party games, this, that and the other. They're going to be there making sure that all runs smoothly and judges it fairly rather than cheating. But yeah, it's my turn again. Oh,
it is. We snake draft here. Did you know that?
Is that what we do
really?
here?
Dang. I did not know that. So, my second to last pick is going to be Zipe Totek. I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I get it wrong. Which is an Aztec god of agriculture and also being flayed. And within the mythology, this god is flayed in order to give food to people. So this is a god who is super dedicated to the task of making sure everybody's got snacks. Making sure that everybody's, they've had their pizza, they've had some, cheese and crackers, they're having a good time. But just the dedication is really what I'm looking for here. I want somebody who's not just going to be there like, oh, food's around. No. He's ready to go the distance it takes. I will flay myself for your
sustenance.
I am currently imagining the god of kebabs, because... Is that not what you're describing?
I mean... yeah, kinda.
Yeah, it's not really wrong, is it?
No, but
It's God wanders into Greece. Yes, kebab stick. Let's go.
Forgive my my ignorance here. Are you saying that they would eat the flesh of Zipe Totek?
So I'm not 100% sure the exact details, but the kind of reference was made between when you're making corn and wheat edible, you have to shuck the skins, which is a similar sort of getting rid of the outer layer. And I think there's probably some symbology about giving of yourself, kind of like the Christian thing of the giving of the flesh to feed. It's slightly more literally in this sense.
This isn't like a crackling sort of situation happening here.
I do just want to send something quickly. I went on Wikipedia and I found this. This is a slightly horrifying image of Zipe Totek. Because, I mean, that facial expression is...
He's definitely making a sound. Some kind of sound.
I think we're very much back to the not safe for work party. That,
hey, I never said
earlier.
My house party was going to be safe for work.
Oh my gosh, the description here though says wears skin of sacrifice depicted in ceramic works as bulbous projections meant to represent fat deposits that line the inside of human skin.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to go to this party anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did seem like a rager up until this one.
He's going to make sure that everybody's got the snacks that they need. He's so dedicated to this.
With the fat deposits.
I'm not sure I'd have their
what
snacks.
is crackling without fat?
I'm just saying, this guy is not getting a 5-star hygiene rating.
You know what though?
Oh,
I
hell
will give
no.
Ollie this. According to Wikipedia again, one of their alternate names is Yorwalawan, the Night Drinker.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
That's a party name right there.
Sounds like
The
the kind of
night
nickname you'd get at
drinker.
university.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there you go. The bringer of snacks. But don't forget, the vibes are protected by Bess/Bestet, so the vibes are still on point because they're protected. That's
Okay.
why Bestet's here, just in case all of the weirdos who I'm inviting to my party bring it a little out of line, Best Tech can ensure that it all stays within the correct vibe.
Okay. Well, I will do my fourth pick of my five-a-side team. And I'll be honest, Ollie, you have actually inspired me a little bit with this one. The Aztec pantheon is fantastic. So I am going to be picking an Aztec god of my own. I am going to be picking the god of the night sky, of hurricanes, of obsidian, and of conflict. I'm going to be picking Tezcatlipoca. So I'm going to pop that name in there.
Ooh, fun.
And I'm going to grab the image. So this one being the night sky, hurricanes, obsidian, and conflict, I feel like this is someone who's going to be an absolute force to deal with on the attack. I think this person's going to be like creative flair, setting up for human sacrifices, which is what I'm just considering, is going to be the opposition's defense. They are going to be the sacrifices brought to the slaughter for this. And that sacrifice is going to be more of a moralistic feeling terrible for letting the side down based on how impressive this guy's attacking skills are, overcoming your defense.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They just look really cool. I don't have much to say.
Cool art. Yeah.
Really cool. I think this one is a jaguar god as well. It's in the form can come in the form of a jaguar, which is pretty cool. Ooh. I do like all of the jaguar aesthetic stuff that they have in Aztec and Maya culture. I think it's one of the coolest set of designs you've got.
I would love to see the marketing for this team. They'd have I'm going to give you this. They'd have the coolest banner. You'd have some really cool promo shots. Maybe all of them just walking menacingly onto a field. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. We are going to create one hell of a music video at the end of our five-a-side games.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right, we'll move on to Jay's fourth round pick.
My fourth round pick is a god who I know less about than I would like. I think this is going to inspire me to go and do a fair amount more research. Especially actually going back to Ollie's last pick, there was a very interesting section of Wikipedia about how that god was sacrificed to, and I both encourage and warn people to go check that out for themselves.
I mean, it's the god of being flayed. I think you know. I think you can tell.
No, you really don't.
Oh no!
Yeah, they've got some funky sacrifice rules there, but no, my next pick is going to be a Roman god, and it's going to be Janus, and I hope I'm Janus, if I pronounce that correctly. Going with the theme of it being a multifaceted god or goddess, Janus is the god of beginnings, endings, doorways, transitions, time, and duality. Most commonly, they are seen as being a two-headed deity with one face firmly faced towards the future, another that's firmly faced towards the past. But they have also been seen with as many as four heads to represent this idea of doorways and transitions and time as well. And I just think that's really cool because I was having this conversation earlier, actually, that one thing that I really admire about a lot of these mythologies, especially in comparison to some of the more modern religious systems and mythologies, is that they stem from this need for humanity to try and explain and understand the world around them. And a lot of them can be quite literal, but also quite unbiased in the way that they explore certain themes. And, some mythologies can seem quite brutal, but they all have important lessons to learn and things to really understand about the world around you, whether that's something that's nice and kind or something that could be potentially quite ugly and awful. And, the idea that somebody sat down and gone, well, if you're looking into the future, you're looking one way, and if you're looking into the past, you're looking the other way. So clearly, man with two heads. That's just how it's going to go.
That's how it's going to go.
Jay, is this just an excuse to get yourself on your draft board? Because you wanted some Janus in there.
I mean, we can never have too much Janus in this podcast.
Jay getting his Janus out.
Oh no.
Quite glad this is an audio-only podcast.
Very glad it's an audio-only podcast.
For listeners at home, we're all turning off our screens at the moment. We did not want to see that.
We don't need to see that.
For the avoidance of doubt, I did not reveal my Janus. That is very much a private and sacred.
Your Janus is right there on the board.
Oh dear.
So, but this, I would say, does this fit your theme of trifecta gods? Because this is very duality, I would say.
I'd kind of hoped for more of a free stage, I will admit, but to that same point, Ra technically wouldn't be multifaceted because it's one person who's progressing through
He's
these
just
different
getting
stages.
older.
So.
Okay.
Yeah. I did debate putting, for example, the Fates or the Grey Sisters
expecting you
onto
to put
this.
the Fates on, yeah.
The thing is, I didn't know if that counts as the one for many, because the Grey Sisters and the Fates are very firmly depicted as being three separate deities, even if they are represented as one. So I thought that would potentially be cheating.
Okay, there's one that you haven't put on the board yet, which I'm really hoping is going to be your last pick, but we get to see. But yeah, okay.
I think it's
Oh, no.
I think
there's
you're pretty
still
safe
also
for me
time
to
for
not
it to be
take it.
taken.
I think you're pretty safe. Unless they're
Yeah,
in
Seth won't be
Yu-Gi-Oh!
taking it.
Or...
But I might not have them, which could... Oh, no.
Interesting.
This could get interesting. Well, to round out Sef's draft, Sef's got the 4th and 5th picks. So who are you going with?
Okay, so Jay, I heard your complaints about Sly for the Sky Dragon. Okay, so I thought I would set your mind at ease by picking a different god from Yu-Gi-Oh! That is based in real
That does
mythology.
not put my mind at ease.
It's
I would
all
like
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'd like to refer you to the Aesir in Yu-Gi-Oh! A trinity of cards, including Odin, which obviously I can't take because you've already taken them, but I can have Loki. Loki, Lord of the Aesir, the Yu-Gi-Oh! God card.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I get to object again.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, okay, putting this out to everybody here, the Egyptian gods that you've picked previously, I've tried to fight my battle there, and you know what? In the anime, they do talk about them as gods, and I imagine there's probably episodes where they're actually seen as god cards. But one thing that the anime and the mythos, outside of just card descriptions, has never approached is any of the Aesir gods. Those cards definitely exist, but that's very much just elements of a card game as opposed to part of the mythos of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Universe, to the best of my knowledge. Now,
I believe they
Thoughts?
are a trinity of... I believe they refer to them as divine in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds.
oh, these are going to be the anime series I haven't seen.
It was a later one. By the way, Yu-Gi-Oh! Played on motorbikes around a racetrack. What a great idea for a series. Nicely done, team. Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Would it be better if I chose Thor? Would you feel more at ease?
You know what? I actually really would. I'm not going to tell you why, but
Well, now
yeah,
that you-
please,
Is
Now
it
that
because
you've
you
said
want
that,
your
Jay, I'm
last one
sticking
to
with
be
Loki.
maybe.
Maybe.
I think it has to be allowed, doesn't it, of the Aesir? Because the Aesir are gods as well, aren't they?
If Seth is picking Loki of the Aesir and in no relation related to Yu-Gi-Oh, I can't object to that.
But isn't the card
But
Loki
it
of
is
the Aesir?
related to Yu-Gi-Oh!
I am just going to state it as this. I am picking Loki, comma, Lord of the Aesir. You can decide for yourself where that's come from. Listeners, you know.
I mean, I would be inclined to allow it as the Yu-Gi-Oh card, but
I am also inclined to allow it as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card.
That
Jay,
is definitely the
once more,
Yu-Gi-Oh! card.
You are outvoted.
You know what? I'm going to take my blessings here because this could be worse. Because if we were doing a 4-draft pick or a 6-draft pick, Seth would be able to start this with giving me a headache and end this with having me raging and throwing my mic across the screen. So I'm going to count my blessings.
If this had been a 6, I would have gone for the 3 Egyptian gold cards and the 3 Norse gold cards. But you were lucky it was 5, so I thought I'd ease you into it a bit with Arceus. And it seems to have worked out all right. So
There are multiple blessings because this could have been a Digimon god, and we know how that would have ended.
Oh no.
I know too much about the Digimon mythology to know that they're not gods. So I thought I would let you rest on that one.
A godless people.
I am going to give you this one here, which the final pick is less to do with my theme, though we can make it about my theme if you want. Have you ever heard of the game Okami? It was on the Nintendo.
I believe I have played Okami with you, Seth, at some point.
There is a white wolf with a magical paintbrush. Their name is Amaterasu, because they are based on the Japanese goddess Amaterasu of the sun. And really, I'm picking this. I'm picking Amaterasu so that I can have a little rant. Because there's one thing that's been on my mind a lot recently. I've been thinking about the moon. I've got gripes with the moon. Number one.
What do you mean? the
Bear
moon?
with me here. Hear me out, right? Hear me out. The moon. One, you're told as a child that the moon comes out at night. Do you know how many times I've seen the moon? When the sun is still out? When it's still bright? I'm being lied to. I don't like that. Two, the moon gets all these fancy romantic connotations, like everlasting love, and you both look up at the same moon at night and you think of each other. But you know what else is in the sky all the time, even when you can't see it? The sun, okay? The sun. The sun needs more love, needs more romantic imagery. Where does all of the energy on this planet come from? The sun.
I'm going to really quickly put it out there that you can't look directly at the sun. So if you're looking at the sun and also your love is looking at the sun, you're both blind and maybe meant for each other in that situation.
Yeah, I think two people looking at the sun romantically together absolutely shows that they're meant to be together.
But you can gaze longingly at the moon because the moon isn't going to actually blind you. Everyone's tried looking at the sun at least once. It's not a fun experience.
What's the moon ever done for us? What, like tides?
Tides are pretty
Tides,
fun.
I guess. Think about
I love
the sun,
tides.
though. What's the sun
Surely
done for
someone
us?
has been blinded as a result of tides before.
I'm just saying, look, the moon gets a lot of this fancy romantic imagery, and in our modern society, we don't appreciate the sun enough. So having some sort of representation for the sun in the form of the winged dragon of Ra and Amaterasu, I just feel it's necessary. Big up the sun.
Big up the sun.
Yep, big up the sun. That's why
I don't think the sun needs to get any bigger.
The son
The son of the sun. The sons, the daughters of the sun.
Yep, the daughters of the sun and the son of the sun.
Mm-hmm. And then just some other guy as well.
Yeah, some other dude.
He's along for the ride.
He's cool. He's a jaguar.
He's having a great time.
Right.
Jay's awful quiet
after
now.
picking
Hello.
your Janus,
Yeah.
what have you got next for us, Jay?
No,
While
can't
I was
say that.
listening, I may have I may have potentially realised that I have run out of picks and didn't take the time to find more picks because somebody took two of my picks and put them in a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
I didn't realise you were going to have Sly for the Sky Dragon on your list.
Well, maybe I did, and now I can't. My last pick was in fact going to be Loki, mainly for the shape-shifting elements. A lot of my picks were around this idea of transformation, and I think that Loki definitely embodies that quite well, not to mention Loki's kids. It's about your kids, Loki. It's a problem with your kids. I am going to abandon my theme and pick a deity. Ooh. I have to pick between two deities. I had a lot of themes that I'd really considered for this particular episode because I'd liked the idea of doing various gods and goddesses of the night. There's some fantastic deities out there who embody the night or the darkness or stars, the sun.
Yes, the sun.
Absolutely fantastic ones. Likewise, I'd considered things like deities of the underworld. I'm a massive fan of the story of Hades and Persephone, for example, and a lot of the mythologies that come from that. I think I am going to shuffle my ideas around. I had debated doing an entire round based on chaos gods and goddesses, because again, when you think about, particularly in a lot of mythologies, they discuss the idea of the end of the world, Ragnarok, the ending of days, what happens if Set in Egyptian mythology ever overwhelms Ra, and various other aspects. But I'd love to say that my pick has been chosen as a pious man of purity of heart and soul. But no, I can't claim these things. My final pick is going to be none other than the goddess of chaos, Eris. And yes, it has everything to do with that animated movie, Sinbad, and we're going to leave it at that.
Is that you picking a character from an animated movie? Interesting.
Who is also a real-life goddess, and this is based off of the real-life goddess. Don't try to take this from me, Seth.
It's interesting. I'm not saying anything, just that it's interesting.
Goddess of strife, rivalry, and discord. Didn't realise Discord, the app, had a goddess.
Huh, how about that?
The more
But,
you know.
Yeah, they are fantastic, and I am mentioning them based on this one animated film, but they do also have a fascinating mythology, especially in relation to characters like Persephone, actually. Persephone, in certain stories, is known to have a cultivated rage, which is in part due to Eris as a goddess, which is also interesting.
Ooh.
I'm
That's
pretty
fun.
on board with Eris as a pick here, because along with the sun, I think there are some really underrated things in our solar system, including dwarf planets, of which Eris is one.
Oh,
I'm
that's
here for
fun.
That's very cool.
That is very cool.
I am curious,
you've
though.
Abandoned
Ollie.
the multiple aspects, though.
Who? Yeah, what was the one I missed? I have to know.
The Christian God, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
You know what? I was going to bring that up, but I thought you guys wouldn't let me have that. I really wanted to put Lucifer on the board, but Lucifer, in their multiple aspects, as Baphomet, as Leviathan, as Satan, I thought that would make a fantastic multifaceted pick. But if you Google, is Lucifer a god? The answer is no. At best, they are a highly powerful angel, or in some mythologies, a jinn, which was an interesting
Ooh.
Google search to come up with. But
That is interesting.
and
yeah.
I didn't think you'd let me have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, because Jesus in the mythology is very much his own separate person. And
Also, I've personally tried to avoid modern day deities because there's loads of really cool Hindu gods and goddesses as well, but it's all like currently worshipped, therefore mayhaps not ideal for a comedy podcast. But no, I thought that would be the funniest of just it's the Holy Trinity from Christian stuff.
it is a weird one, because I would say that the mythology around Christianity, Old Testament, New Testament, and otherwise, is fascinating, and some of the stories are absolutely incredible. But like you said, as this is still very much a modern practiced religion that you would go to Sunday school as opposed to learning about in a more historical context, it doesn't feel like it fits this one.
Yeah.
But there's some amazing stories.
I thought it would just be really funny if it was like, ancient deity. It's the Christian God, baby. Let's go.
I
Just
like
to
the
round
way
it
you
out.
said that as well. It's the Christian God.
Yeah.
I was actually, in preparation for this, I watched a few clips from it. Is anyone familiar with American Gods?
Yeah, that's a really good series.
The concept of American Gods, for any listeners that aren't aware, it's the idea that you have the old gods, so a lot of who we've been discussing on this podcast, minus Sef's picks, are these older gods that are starting to fall out of their power because they don't have as many worshippers anymore. They're kind of more around as relics of the olden times, and instead what has taken their place, especially in America, is these new gods, the gods of the internet, the gods of the world, the gods of technology. And there's this fantastic episode in one of the seasons where probably actually, where there is the goddess of Easter, the original goddess, and she's in a garden with something like 40 Jesuses from various different backgrounds because there's so many different denominations of Jesus. And it's actually Odin is then confronting her and saying, you've lost your power, you've lost your grace. All of these Jesuses, they get all of your worship now, and it's a fantastic scene to watch.
Yeah, that's a really fun, well done series. I enjoyed that very much.
That is awesome.
So
who is the final member of your five-a-side team?
I'm so glad you asked. The final member of my five-a-side team, well, I've got the goalkeeper, I've got the defender, I've got the midfielder, I've got the kind of creative player. What I need is a striker to finish the goals off. And what better striker than Mafdet, the executioner? Executing all of those chances into fantastic finishes. I will post a picture in the chats. There you go.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say Obelisk the Tormentor, but that works.
This is also where I can point out that Jay was actually correct earlier. There is a sub-theme here of cats. We had Bastet with cat-like reflexes as a cat in goal, and Sekhmet, who's also just a big cat, a big protector. Mahrez is a lion and a lion heart in the middle of that midfield. We have the Jaguar of Tezcatlipoca, and of course we have the cheetah up front. And for me, a cheetah is a fantastic representation of a striker because the amount of them that just throw themselves to the ground desperate for a penalty, they absolutely are cheetahs, the bloody lot of them.
Quick Google tells me that her name means to leap, which also fits with what you're saying there.
But yes, that is my final five-a-side pick, is my wonderful cheetah up top.
They're going to have a really fun mascot. It's going to be a human being.
Going back to this idea that we have competing five-a-side teams, I do like the idea that we have this ferocious kind of lion and lionesses team. And in the striker position, you're going up against Chaos and Discord herself. Again, going to this idea of what we see typically on a football field. Eris is falling over and clutching her knee every 5 seconds. It's just, ref.
I'll be honest, I don't think that the referee in this game is giving any fouls to anybody, because I think the referee is just petrified in the middle going, what the hell have I signed up for? No money is worth this. I don't think it matters how many times the ball goes into the back of the net either. I think the score remains 0-0 because the referee's not given a goal.
What if this was like the Aztec football system where it's just like a couple of rings in the walls?
That would be such a good time. I want to do that. I want to play that. That sounds fun. Okay, is it my go? The last pick.
It is indeed. Ollie with the very last god or goddess for the draft.
My very last deity is going to be Baal Marquard, which is a Phoenician deity who is the god of dancing, who invented dance, whose worship is in the form of dance. There isn't masses on the internet about this guy, because they've only found like a couple of things referencing him specifically. But what is a good party without some funky moves? We need
someone who can bust them moves.
Exactly.
That's what we're here for.
Just absolutely throw down some sick dance moves. Just somebody's got to start dancing, because if nobody starts dancing, then everybody's too awkward. So you need the guy who's like, yeah, I'm all in, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
Let's get dancing.
I'm fully getting what you're putting down here, because it's Baal Marquard starts busting some moves. Bess has to maintain the vibe. So Bess will get up on the floor and start doing the moves as well. You've got Dionysus, who, life of the party, absolutely is going to get involved with that as well. And Tyr, who's absolutely going to get involved with that as well. And then everyone's going to be a bit weirded out when Zippersek starts flapping about with their,
with their flayed skin offerings.
Flayed skin showing around the house.
Yeah, you get the vibe
off of their body, or
weirdest orgy ever.
Weirdest orgy ever. But hey, if you were invited, would you say no?
Yes,
because
I would say no.
You'd say no? Oh, come on. I think this would be a good time. I'm down. I'm going. I'm having fun. Get schmoves, get some snacks, get some good tunes going, get some good party games, real competitive. We could have a dance competition. It's going to be incredible.
Really, the revelers should just be happy that at the top of your picks you had Dionysus. If it had been the alternate version of Bacchus, it would have been so much bloodier for a start, and there would have been a lot of Dionysus
that's
is
why
chill.
I didn't go for Bacchus. I was like, Bacchus is a really cool god. That is going to end in death and destruction, and it's not going to end well. We can't be doing
Romans,
that.
Please. No Romans, this
please.
party.
I was considering doing the worst house party one, which would have had Bacchus. It would have had probably Nyx Nike, and a couple of others of overly competitive. You're bringing weird vibes, But no, I decided to go for the best house party with excellent snacks. Everybody say thank you to Zippy Totek.
I have to admit, I do really like your last pick as well for being from Phoenician mythology. Something that I want to aspire to coming up into the new year is exploring more mythologies from the less popular pantheons and areas of the world, because there's so many fascinating stories that, especially in Western culture, we might not be as exposed to. And if I'm not mistaken, I think according to Google, it says this is more out of the Lebanese area.
Yeah, so the main temple that they found is in Syria, near Beirut. I don't know how you say the name of the...
No, I think you're right. Beirut.
Yeah, I think
Beirut.
Beirut.
Yeah, it's on top of a mountain, having a good time. But yeah, there's not masses that they found to do with this particular god, but just
partay.
Just party,
just
dancing, lots of circular imagery of dancing around in circles. I've seen some stuff that mentions him as a Canaanite deity, but that's a bit less cut and dry. But yeah, just a really interesting one.
That is very cool and a great way to round off our draft boards. So before we get to the whole summarising bit and deciding what the next draft is, we've got a little bit of time for some honourable mentions. Is there anyone who would like to chuck any into the pile today?
I have one, and only one. And that is Nataraja, which is a Hindu currently worshipped god, which is why he is not on my list, who is one of the many forms of Shiva, who dances the dance of creation and destruction, which is just so cool. And yeah, all of the art for this guy absolutely slaps.
Yeah, I had looked at the Hindu pantheon, and they are fantastic gods and goddesses. There's so many wonderful stories in that as well, but similar didn't choose for the same reasons.
But yeah,
I think
literally Lord of the Dance. Fuck yeah.
I think I've got a pitch maybe for honourable mentions for a variety of reasons. One of them is not actually a god or a goddess, but I'll come to that in a second. When I was considering what other themes I might go for, I'm a big fan of the Marvel Moon Knight series, and Khonshu as god of the moon is a particularly cool god in mythology, and also strangely in the Night at the Museum trilogy as being the founder of the powers that power the tablet of Akman Ra, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
is he? Oh,
he
hell
is,
yeah. I didn't know that.
Our bird boy Khonshu. I also especially again, I mentioned this podcast earlier that talks about obscure stories from mythology, and I think for a human turned god, and I didn't mention them because they were a bit close on the demigod spectrum, but Asclepius, the god of medicine in Greek mythology, has an absolutely fantastic story. If you've not heard it, I can highly recommend going and reading through that one. It's one of the weirdest ones where a guy kind of becomes a god by being quite cocky and full of himself almost, and it's fascinating. And my third pick, who, if you ever go Googling, is Christianity actually just low-key messing with like the storyline? The story of Idun's apples from Norse mythology is quite closely related to stories that you see for things like the Garden of Eden. They both share this theme of apples and a snake in the garden, and Idun is also a fantastic pick who I would have liked to have explored. The last honourable mention piece, though, is more... We've talked a lot about gods and goddesses in this particular episode, but something that I am forever fascinated with when I look at this as a topic overall is also creation stories. Different mythologies have some fantastic takes on where it is that we come from and how it was that we were created. And I believe it's in Japanese mythology that we were all originally created by a goddess who just kind of scooped us from clay at the bottom of a riverbed. And stories like that, again, are just fantastic and should be shared more often.
That is very, very cool. I mean, I was only really considering one more for my board, which Sef kind of took anyway, but I did sort of want, if there was a sixth pick, to get Ra, just so that I could say that the manager of the team clearly believes in nepotism.
Oh, that would be good.
My only, if I had taken it down a less annoy Jay route, I would have gone for all gods and goddesses of the sun. There are some great choices there, which we didn't get to. Obviously, I kind of did with Ra and with Amaterasu, but you could have had Apollo. None of us mentioned Apollo in the Greek pantheon. You could have had a whole bunch. You can Google them. There is a million different gods and goddesses of the sun. Just feel like it's fallen out of favour in popular depictions.
People don't treat the sun with the respect it goddamn deserves, and Sef, I am on your side. Well, it is time for us to round up our draft boards. So, obviously, you will get a vote in the Spotify poll as to who you think won this draft. Your picks, Sef.
I've gone for Arceus or Arceus, I don't know how it's pronounced, from Pokemon. I've gone for the Winged Dragon of Ra from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Life of the Sky Dragon, also from Yu-Gi-Oh! Gone for Loki, Lord of the Aesir. Up to you as to whether that one's from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Amaterasu.
Wonderful. Well, Jay.
I went for Odin, the All-Father from Norse mythology, the Morrigan from Celtic mythology, Hecate from Greek mythology, Janus from Roman mythology, and Eris also from Greek mythology.
And my Pex picks for my five-a-side team. In goal, number 1, cat-like reflexes, it's Baztets. In defence, we have Sekhmet, also Big Cat. The lion heart of the midfield is Mahez. The creative input is Tezcatlipoca, the jaguar, and our slightly wily striker, our cheetah, is Mafdet.
Very nice.
Ollie.
My house party, which is going to be very fun, I will not hear any commentary to the contrary, is Dionysus, the Greek god, Bes/Bestet, the Egyptian god, Tyr, the Norse god, Zipetotec, the Aztec god, and Baal Marquard, who is a Phoenician deity.
Fantastic. Well, that rounds up our picks for today. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The next episode, I believe this one was chosen by Sef.
Ooh, it's up to me. Our next draft, whenever the next episode comes out, will be Satisfying Sounds.
Oh, that's going to be a nice one.
Oh, hell yeah. We get to make sound effects. We get to make sound effects.
You're going to have fun on the edit there, Pex.
I am not going to bother putting in any of the sound effects, but you know.
If I send you my sound effects, can you just sneak them in? No?
I think, depending on what they are, maybe. But if it's anything that might be at a copyright risk, I probably won't.
Yeah, we can't
Can
be
I-
paying for copyright.
Can I ask a question of the listeners before we round off this episode?
Go for it.
We are, of course, a podcast, a small one, and we hope you have been enjoying listening to us. My question for you this week is, if there was a god, goddess, or deity of podcasts, what would they look like? What would their powers be? And how would you worship them?
Ooh.
And if you need my advice for how you can worship them, it is hit that like button or that subscribe button or that follow button, depending on whichever platform it is you are dealing with. As I said, thank you so much for listening. Please do give us a 5-star review, comment, whatever it is you can do to engage with us. It does really help us when you do that sort of thing.
It also makes us go, ee! You see the comments and we go,
satisfying sound.
Yeah, I know, we do get far too excited
Yes.
about it, but you know, that's us. So yes, that's if you like the podcast. If you didn't like the podcast, please take it to your local religious building, play it to some people there, and then have a discussion as to whether or not you would regard us as a sin. So thank you very much for listening. From myself, Pex, Ollie, Sef, and Jay, have a wonderful week. Goodbye.
bye-bye.
Bye.